Good evening. Welcome to all of you to the Earthquake School of Poetry. Tonight we're having readings from Greek, ancient Greek and modern Greek. We're going to try one experiment tonight. We don't have the Greek for everything, so we will read a couple of people, well actually three, just in English, in translation. And I apologize, but these poets are very important. I think that they should be read even in English. But most of the things will be both in English and Greek. And I wanted to read you one little thing from Birth of a Poet by William Everson. He's a California poet. He talks a little bit about the Greeks. He says, "There has been a long tradition from the Greeks until today which centers on the freedom of man. The great stabilizing cultures, which are generally totalitarian, have always in their virtue possessed the staying power of the group, adhering to certain habitual patterns that have proved out in the past. To liberate the individual to his full expressiveness without inhibition is always the most dangerous road to go. The ethos of the West, from the Greeks forward, has moved toward that goal." So the Greeks are really the beginning of our individuality, and we wanted to give you as many voices tonight as we could in as many different poets. So we have Eugenia Kolya reading.
Yes.
She's from, where are you from, Eugenia?
Corinth.
California. Uh-huh. And Christos Papachristos?
Yeah, from Salonika.
And then in reading in English, we Clark Brown of the English department at school. And, your name is
Diana.
Diana Hume. So we'll start with.
You remembered my last
I'd like to show you. Before we go on, we're going to do the Homer. Excuse me. I just wanted to show you this, which I happen to have. This is actually from Yugoslavia. But
I guess it was Baglama.
yeah, these are used for long folk poems in the Balkan countries and also in Greece. It's a different style in Greece, I believe, than this. But in Yugoslavia, they have some poems that go on for 3 or 4 days, and they play music with it. So we'll be hearing a lot from the oral tradition to begin with. So we'll start with Homer, and this is the beginning of the Odyssey.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about Homer, Clark?
First thing I want to say is this won't go on for 3 or 4 days. Most of you don't know that Wayne and I are old schoolmates, and when Wayne told me about these poetry readings, he said he'd modeled them on the tradition that we used to have at Berkeley, the Monday afternoon readings, and one of the ground rules was that whoever did the readings couldn't talk about the poet. He just had to read and shut up. So I came tonight prepared to read and shut up, and I wasn't planning on saying anything about Homer. But I also have the feeling that most people in this room know more about Homer than I do. But I'll tell you what I've learned about Homer, or what I was taught about Homer, that he lived probably around the 8th century B.C. and wrote about some kind of conflict, some kind of war, which took place probably around the 12th century, or maybe even further back, around the coast of what is now Turkey. But there is an actual Troy. It's been excavated. Actually, there are several Troys, one on top of the other. But we don't know much about what may or may not have happened long ago. Tradition has it, as I'm sure many of you know, that Homer was blind, and he recited these lines. Robert Fitzgerald, whose translation I'm going to use, estimates that it probably took about an hour to recite 500 lines, and accompanied himself, or was accompanied in some way, on some kind of musical instrument, which we know nothing about. It may have been like this one here, but we won't know, I guess. And that these verses were handed down. This was in a society which was illiterate, but eventually somebody wrote them down, and they've come down to us. There's lots of controversy about who Homer really was, whether in fact the same man wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, whether several people wrote both books or either book. Samuel Butler, the English novelist, theorized that a woman wrote the Odyssey. He felt only a woman could have written it because of the episode involving the princess Nausicaa, who falls in love with Odysseus. And he felt that the psychology, the understanding of women, of the feminine mind, was so perceptive that only a woman could have written this book. Not everyone has agreed with him. But in any case, the two books have come down to us over this long period of time. James Joyce thought that Odysseus, the hero of the Odyssey, was the most complete man in all literature, and he took Odysseus for his model in writing Ulysses, what some people think is the greatest novel of the 20th century. To my mind, what's important is, or at least interesting, is that in coming here tonight to hear some of the lines of Homer, first in Greek and then in English, we are, maybe unconsciously, carrying out a tradition which has been in existence for almost 3,000 years and dealing with two of the greatest books in the Western world and maybe the most influential ever written. If I'd known I was going to talk about this, I would have brought Kenneth Rexroth's one-page essay on the Iliad, in which he says that whenever he reads the Iliad, he thinks that he's really contemplated life itself, that no book goes deeper or farther or has more to say. Anyway, that's about all I know, and I'll turn it over to Christos to read the Greek.
I'm going to read from the first chapter called The Trade of the Gods. I'm going to read about 20 lines so you can have a general idea. So, Θεόν αγορά, άνδρα μη ένε πεμούσα πολύτροπον, ως μάλα πολλά πλάνχτη, επί τρεις ιερών πτωλιέθρων έπερσεν, πολλών διανθρώπων είδεν, άστια κενών έγνω. Πολλά δω γενπών το πάθεν, άλγιαών κατά θυμών, αρνήμενος ειν τε ψυχήν κενός των έτερων, αλλουδέως ετέρους ερίσατο, η έμενος περαυτών, γάρ σφετερίσισιν αταστλίης όλοντο, νύπιοι καταβούς υπερίωνος, η ελίο, ίστιον. Αυτά οτίσιν αφίλετο νόστιμον ήμαρ. Τον άμαθεν θεά θυγάτερ διός, είπε και ημίν. Ενθάλιμεν πάντες, όσοι φύγον επίν ολέθρων, ή κιέσαν πολέμοντε, πεφευγότες ιδέν θάλασσαν. Τον δύο νόστου και χρημένων είδε γυναικός, νύμφιν κότνη, έρικεν καλυψώδια θεάων. Εν σπέσει γλαφυρίσει, λιλεωμένη πόσιν είναι. Αλλότε διέτος, ήλθεν περιπλανωμένον εν αυτόν, το επεκλωσάντο θεή, εικόν δεν έστε, εις ηθάκην, ουδέν θα πεφυγμένος ή ένα έθλον, και με τίση φίληση. Θεοί διελέρων απάντες, νόσοι Ποσειδώνος. Ο δασπερεχτές μενέν, αντιθέω οδύση, πάρωσιν γέαν οικέστα. These are only 22 lines from this first chapter, and now it's the translation.
This is Robert Fitzgerald's translation. Sing in me, Muse, and through me tell the story of that man skilled in all ways of contending, the wanderer harried for years on end, after he plundered the stronghold on the proud height of Troy. He saw the townlands and learned the minds of many distant men, and weathered many bitter nights and days in his deep heart at sea, while he fought only to save his life, to bring his shipmates home. But not by will nor valor could he save them, for their own recklessness destroyed them all, children and fools. They killed and feasted on the cattle of Lord Helios, the sun, and he who moves all day through heaven took from their eyes the dawn of their return. Of these adventures, Muse, daughter of Zeus, tell us in our time, lift the great song again. Begin when all the rest who left behind them headlong death in battle or at sea had long ago returned, while he alone still hungered for home and wife. Her ladyship Calypso clung to him in her sea-hollowed caves, a nymph, immortal and most beautiful, who craved him for her own. And when long years and seasons wheeling brought around that point of time, ordained for him to make his passage homeward, trials and dangers even so attended him, even in Ithaca, near those he loved. Yet all the gods had pitied Lord Odysseus, all but Poseidon, raging cold and rough against the brave king, till he came ashore at last on his own land.
Now we'll have a little bit from Sappho, and it's quite different because this will be from a lyric poet. Sappho lived, I believe, around 600 BC. She lived on the island of Lesbos. Not too much is known about her, but it's believed that she had a school for girls that performed rituals to Aphrodite, and the students would come when they were very young, study with her, and then when they were ready for marriage, they would leave. So we'll have 6 poems from Sappho.
Yeah, the first one is to Aphrodite. Ποικιλόθρον αθάνατα Αφροδίτα, παιδιος δολοπλόκα, λύσω με σε, μη μέσεσι, μη δονίαση δάμνα, πότνια θυμών. Αλτή δέλθε, επότα κατερώτα, τα σεμάς αυδός, αΐασα πύλη, έκλειες πατρός δεδόμων λείπαση, χρήσιον ήλθες. Άρμη υπασεύδεξεσα, κάλο, δεσίγαγον, όκε στρούθο πρώτη, γαν μέλαιναν, πυκνά δίναντε πτέρατο, αποράνω εθέρος διαμέσω. Εψά δεξέκοντο σύ, δώμα κέρα μη διάσασα, αθάνατο προσώπο. Ήρε ό,τι δίφτε, πεπόνθα, κότι διέφτε κάλυμη. Κότα εμεί μάλιστα θέλω γενέστε. Μένω λαθιμό, τι να διέφτε πείθω. Και σα γίνεις φάνων φιλοτότα, της το αδικεί. Και γάρε φεύγει, ταχαίως διώξει, εδεδόρα μη δέκετ, αλδώσει, εδέ μη φίλη, ταχαίως φιλήσει, κού και θέλησα. Έλθε μη και νυν, χαλεπά δε λύσον εκμέριμναν, όσα δε μη τελέσε τιμός, η μέρη τέλεσον σύ δάφτα σήμαχος έσω. This is the first part of one of his speech referred to Aphrodite. Now it's
Prayer to my lady of Paphos. Dapple-throned Aphrodite, eternal daughter of God, snare knitter, don't I beg you tell my heart with grief. Come as once when you heard my far-off cry, and listening, stepped from your father's house to your gold car, to yoke the pair whose beautiful, thick-feathered wings oaring down mid-air from heaven carried you to light swiftly on dark earth. Then, blissful one, smiling your immortal smile, you asked, what ails me now that made me call you again? What was it that my distracted heart most wanted? Whom has persuasion to bring round now to your love? Who, Sappho, is unfair to you? For let her run, she will soon run after. If she won't accept gifts, she will one day give them. And if she won't love you, she soon will love, although unwillingly. If ever, come now, relieve this intolerable pain. What my heart most hopes will happen, make happen. You yourself join forces on my side.
This is a second chapter from his same talk to Aphrodite. Φαίνεται μη κείνος, ίσως θεήσιν, έμε ονείρο της εναντίον της. Ιζάνι και πλάσιον άδει, φωνήσασα υπακούει. Και γελέσα σημέρωεν, το μη μαν κάρζαν ενστήθεσιν, επεπτώεν, ως γάρες τίδο βρόχε, ως με φωνάς ουδέτικη. Αλλά καμέν γλώσσα, φεάγε λέπτον, δάφτηκα χρό επαδεδρώμακεν. Οπτασέσι δουδέν, ορί με επιρομβήσει, δε ακούε. Αδεμίδρος καχαίεται, τρόμος δε πεδάσιν, αγρή χλωροτέρα δε πιάσε μη, τέχνικεν δο λίγο παιδί, φαίνομαι αλά.
I've just read this once over, and I've never read it out loud, and it's just so feminine. She is so feminine. I've never read anything quite like this. This is called, He is More Than a Hero. He is a god in my eyes, the man who is allowed to sit beside you. He who listens intimately to the sweet murmur of your voice, the enticing laughter that makes my own heart beat fast. If I meet you suddenly, I can't speak. My tongue is broken. A thin flame runs under my skin, seeing nothing. Hearing only my own ears drumming, I drip with sweat. Trembling shakes my body, and I turn paler than dry grass. At such times, death isn't far from me.
Another chapter of the talk of Sappho is referred to the Anactorias. It's going. Η μένη πτύων στρώτων, η δε πεσδών, η δε ναών φες επί γεάν μέλαιναν, Έμενεν κάλιστον, εγώ δι, κίνο τόι της εράτε. Πάχει δευμαρές συνετών πόησε. Πάντι ταύτου γάρ, πολύ περέσκιστε. Κάλος ανθρώπων ελεάνα, τον άνδρα κρίνεν άριστον. Ως το παν σέβας, τρία σολέσε, κουδέ πέδιδος, ουδέ φίλων τοκίων. Μάλλον εμνάστη, αλλά παραγαγά αυτάν πήλε φιλήσει. Όρος εύκαμπτον, γάρα ή το θύλι, εκέ της κουφός. Το παρνόησε. Αμένην ανακτορία, σύ μέμνηνεν, σου παρεΐσε. Τα σκευολιμίαν, έρατον, τεβάμα, καμαράχρημα, λαμπρόν ειδή πρόσωπο, Ιταλίδων άρματα κανοπλήσει, πεσδομαχέντες. Μεν ιδμεν, ου δυνατόν γενέστε. Λόστον ανανθρώπης, παιδεχθήν αράστε. Το παιδέχθιον λοΐτερον, βρωτήσιν ή λελάστε.
Okay, in English it says, to an army wife in Sardis. Some say a cavalry corps, some infantry. Some again will maintain that the swift oars of our fleet are the finest sight on dark earth. But I say that whatever one loves is. This is easily proved. Did not Helen, she who had scanned the flower of the world's manhood, choose as first among men one who laid Troy's honor in ruin, warped to his will, forgetting love due her own blood, her own child, she wandered far with him. So, Anactoria, through you, being far away, forget us, the dear sound of your footstep, and light glancing in your eyes, would move me more than glitter of Lydian horse or armored tread of mainland infantry.
Another one of her talk is referred to at these. Ψάφμι μαν, ούτως εγώ, ου σε φιλήσω, οφέναμα μην, κά ξεύναν λύεται αν. Πεφιλημέναν ίσχυν, είδα τη δε κρίνον, ως ακυρά το παρκρανάν. Πέπλον χίον απίσχυσεν λουέο. Και κλείς, σάον καββάσιν, κέντραν, κροκό ενταλοπόε σε βάλει, και πέπλον πορφυρίων και καβαλημένα. Χλένα περσεξεκρισάντων, άνθινοι στεφάνι, περισσόν κάρα δέθαντες. Καλθός αμένης, μαδεά καλώνα. Φρίσον ο πράξινο, καραμίν, ως παρθένων πότων αδίων πλόησο. Έκτινος γαρθεών, ταύτα άλυμη τέκνων. Ημάν τάδε αμέρα, πρώτη φίλταταν, μιλτίναν, πόλιον ύφξα το είδη. Γυναικών ακάλιστα ψαλφό απίβαν. Πεδαμαίο, αματήρ, πέδα των τέκνων, φίλτατα θύ, μόν άρα ταύτατα πριν, επιλέαστε πάντα η ομνήσας η έτη.
It was you, Athes, who said, Sappho, if you will not get up and let us look at you, I shall never love you again. Get up, unleash your suppleness, lift off your Chian night dress, and, like a lily leaning into a spring, bathe in the water. Cleis is bringing your best purple frock and the yellow tunic down from the clothes chest. You will have a cloak thrown over you and flowers crowning your hair. Proxinoa, my child, will you please roast nuts for our breakfast? One of the gods is being good to us. Today we are going at last into Mytilene, our favorite city, with Sappho, loveliest of its women. She will walk among us like a mother with all her daughters around her when she comes home from exile. That you forget everything.
From the same talk to Atthis, another chapter. Ατθίδα, ούποτα ορόψαμεν τεθνάκιν δόλος θέλω, αμεψισδόμενα κατελειπτέμενα. Πολλά και τάδε είπε μη, ημοσδίνα πεπονθάμενα, ψάφμι μαν, σαΐκαση απελιπάνω. Ταν δεγώ τάδα μοιβόμενα, χαίρες έρχεο κάμεθεν. Μεμνήστε εις τα γάρ, ώστε πεπιδάμονον. Έδεμι, αλλά σε εγώ θέλω, ομνήσασα τα σύ λάθεα. Όσα μες φύλλα και κάλα δε πάσχομαι, πολλά σας στεφάνησίων, και βρόδων γλυκίων γήμη, καπολιπλόκων παρεμί περεθήκαο. Και πολλές η παθίδα μας, πλέκτες άμφα παλαδέρα, ανθέων εκάτεων πεπομένας. και πολλά νεαρά μύρο, βρενθείο προς εμή χρώα, εξαλείψω και βασιλείο, και στρώμαν επιμολθάκαν, απάλαν περαλίωναν. Εξής πόθον αύρων ηλανίδων. Κούτε της λόφης ούτε τι, ήρων ούτε ύδατος, ρώα. Έπλετ, ο πρόθεναν μέσα πέσκομεν. Ουκάλιστος τίποτη λαρός, πύκνος αρχόμενον ψόφος, αηδών έχει επικαλύρδια, ότι μη συν εμείς αφήτασα.
The hardest part about these poems is the ending. It's really hard to read a poem that just kind of drifts off and leaves you right at the end. I have had not one word from her. Frankly, I wish I were dead. When she left, she wept a great deal. She said to me, "This parting must be endured, Sappho. I will go unwillingly." And I said, "Go and be happy, but remember, you know well, whom you leave shackled by love. If you forget me, think of our gifts to Aphrodite and all the loveliness that we shared. All the violet tiaras, braided rosebuds, dill and crocus twined around your young neck, myrrh poured on your head, and on soft mats girls with all that they most wished for beside them, while no voices chanted choruses without ours, no woodlot bloomed in spring without song."
Another chapter, chapter 86, again from the chapter of Athis, is saying, Athή, σήκαμαν ακτόρια φύλλα, πυλωρίσε ενή σάρδεσιν, νεή, πολλά κοιτίδενών έχισα. Ως πότε ζώμεν βίον, ας έχεσαι θεά φύκελαν, αριζόγνοτα σα δε μάλιστα εχαίρετα μόλπα. Νυν δε λυσίδαση εμέμπρεπτε, γυναικέσινος πολλό, αέλιο, δύνατον αυραδιδοδάκτυλο σε λάνα. Παρταπερέχεση άστρα, φάος δε επέσχει θάλασσαν επαλμυράν, ίσως και πελιανθέμις αργούρες. Αδέρ σακάλα, και έχετε τεθέλασιν, δευρόδια καλά πανανθρίκασαν και μελήλωτος ανθεμεδόδης. Πολλά δε ζαφιτάτασαν αγάνας, επιμνάσες στην ατίδος ημέρο. Λέπταν πι φρένα, κυράς αβόρητε. Κίσι τέλθη να μη, εξιβόη, τα δούδ νον γάπιστα νίξ, πολιός γαρί πεταλόπλωσα, λόν των μέσων.
Is this another prayer?
I think so. I think it's another chapter. Yeah,
This is
the start of the
Athis
same.
again. Yes, Athis, you may be sure, even in Sardis, Anactoria will often think of the life we shared here when you seemed the goddess incarnate to her, and your singing pleased her best. Now among Lydian women, she in her turn stands first, as the red-fingered moon rising at sunset takes precedence over stars around her. Her light spreads equally on the salt sea and fields thick with bloom. Delicious dew pours down to freshen roses, delicate thyme, and blossoming sweet clover. She wanders aimlessly, thinking of gentle Athis, her heart hanging heavy with longing in her little breast. She shouts aloud, "Come!" We know it. Thousand-eared night repeats that cry across the sea shining between us.
Now we'll read, Clark will read just in English from another lyric poet named Archilokos, who was a soldier and whose tone is quite different.
This is Guy Davenport's translation, and many of the poems are fragments. Many of them have not survived at all. And some, I suppose, are not really poems. They consist of simply a word or two, but Davenport has translated them nevertheless. Not a whole lot is known about Archilochus either, except that he's, after Homer, I suppose his poetry is the oldest which has survived in 7th century BC or so.
Oh, Clark, I just want to say, a lot of these poems, just fragments here and there survive. And in this book on Sappho, Very nice. They talk about some of Sappho's poems were found in mouths of stuffed crocodiles. So, I don't know why they use all this stuff in there. So they come from odd places.
Some of these, I don't know whether it's an entire poem or not. This island, garlanded with wild woods, lies in the sea like the backbone of an ass. Another one, four words. Listen to me, cuss.
Sounds really contemporary.
With ankles that fat, it must be a girl. Like Odysseus under the ram, you have clung under your lovers and under your love of lust, seeing nothing else for this mist, dark of heart, dark of mind. Decks awash, mast top dipping, and all balanced on the keen edge, now of the wind's sword, now of the wave's blade. Attribute all to the gods. They pick a man up, stretched on the black loam, and set him on his 2 feet, firm, and then again shake solid men until they fall backward into the worst of luck, wandering, hungry, wild of mind. This poem apparently had 4 lines. Only the 2nd and 4th have survived, and they are slime and crud, snot. This poem, all that's left is 2 words. Dripping blood. She's as timid as a partridge. Whoever is alive is pleased by song. You bring home a bright evil. But iron bends too, and that poker is limp as a rag most of the time. Friends hurt the most. Watch, Glaukos, watch. Heavy and high buckles the sea. A cloud, tall and straight, is gathered on the Gyrean mountain tops, forewarning of thunder, lightning, wind. What we don't expect comes fearfully. War, Glaukos, war. Fields fattened by corpses. The arrogant puke pride. This, I don't know if this is the whole poem or not, but it consists of 2 words. Ass kisser. The highly polished minds of accomplished frauds. What breaks me, young friend, is tasteless desire, dead iambics, boring dinners. Soul, soul, torn by perplexity, on your feet now. Throw forward your chest to the enemy. Keep close in the attack. Move back not an inch. But never crow in victory, nor mope hangdog in loss. Overdo neither sorrow nor joy. A measured motion governs man. Some Cyan mountaineer struts today with my shield. I threw it down by a bush and ran when the fighting got hot. Life seemed somehow more precious. It was a beautiful shield. I know where I can buy another exactly like it. Just as round. Her hair was as simple as flax, and I am heavy with infamy. This is a single word, naked. That's all that survived, or maybe that was the poem. There's nothing new we can't expect to happen. Anything at all you can bet is ready to jump out at us. No need to wonder over it. Father Zeus has turned noon to night, blotting out the sunshine utterly, putting cold terror at the back of the throat. Let's believe all we hear, even that dolphins and cows change place, porpoises and goats, rams booming along in the offing, mackerel nibbling in the hill pastures. I wouldn't be surprised. Fortune is like a wife, fire in her right hand, water in her left. Another a three-word poem, if it is a poem. Eaten by fleas. 7 of the enemy were cut down in that encounter, and 1,000 of us, mark you, ran them through. Truth is born as lightning strikes. I weep that the people of Thasos are in trouble. The Magnesians are not my concern. Another one-word poem, grape. As one fig tree in a rocky place feeds a lot of crows, easygoing Pasiphae receives a lot of strangers. Fight. I want to fight with you as a thirsty man wants water. What a behind. Oh, monkey. Season follows season. Time grows old. It's not your enemies, but your friends you've got to watch. She's fat, public, and a whore. And the last poem in the book. When you upbraid me for my poems, catch also a cricket by the wings and shout at him for chirping.
Thank you. Now we'll end the first half with a real treat. This is a poem from the 19th century, which has been written down in many versions. I don't know, is this known all over Greece? I mean, do people know this is...
Yeah, they're very...
Yeah, it's from a book on modern Greek folk poetry, and it's called Little Constantine, or Micro Constantine.
Do you like reading the whole thing, or?
However you want to do it. Do you want to read the whole thing straight through?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Ο Μικροκωνσταντίνος. Ο Κωνσταντίνος ο μικρός και ο Μικροκωνσταντίνος. Μικρό τον είχε η μάνα του, μικρό ταραβωνιάζει. Μικρό τον ήρθε μήνυμα να πάει στο σεφέρι. Νύχτα σαλόνι τ' άλογο, νύχτα το καλυγόνι. Πανασημένια πέταλα, μαλαματένιες λότρες. Και η καλή τον έλεγε από το παραθύρι. Εσύ διαβαίνεις, Κωνσταντί, και εμένα πού μ' αφήνεις? Αφήνω σε πρώτα στο Θεό και στέρνα στους Αγίους. Αφήνω και σε ολόστερα στην εγλυκιά μου μάνα. Μάνα μου καλή, μάνα μου ζαχαρένια. Όπως εμένα έχεις παιδί, να έχεις και την καλή μου. Να έχεις και τη γυναίκα μου, την αγαπητική μου. Πήδηξε καβαλίκεψε σαν το γοργό πουλάκι, ώστε να πεις αφήνω για 40 μίλια πήρε, και ώστε να πούνε στο καλό άλλα 43. Ακόμα κρότος του βαστά και τα πελογιά κρατιούντο, και αυτή σκύλα εγάνομη γοβρέσας διχατέρα. Από το χέρι την άρπαξε, στο βαρβεριό την πάει, πας στο σκαμνί την κάθισε και αντρί και την ξυρίζει, μια κούκλα την εφόρεσε και βέργα δίνει. Τη δίνει 10 πρόβατα και εκείνα ψωριασμένα, τη δίνει και 3 σκυλιά και εκείνα λυσασμένα. Την παραγγέλνει στα γερά τη χωρατεύει. Θα πάρεις πάνω στα βολά και στα ψηλά κορφάτα, έχουν τα κρύα τα νερά της δροσερούς τους γίσκους. Και αν δεν τα κάνεις 100 και αν δεν τα κάνεις 1000, και τα σκυλιά 72 στον κάμπο μη κατέβεις. Σε όλους τους σπόρους πάνε τα, σε όλους ποτισέτα, και στο Γιορτάνι ποταμό μη πας να τα ποτίσεις. Γιατί έχει φίδια και όχεντρες θα ξεύγουν να σε φάνε. Έλα Χριστέ και Παναγιά με το μονογενή σου, πας στα βουνά που βρίσκομαι να φτάνει η ευχή σου. Πήρε και πήγε στα βουνά τα δάκρυα φορτωμένη, Αρνάδα γέννησε, αρνάδα 5-10. Γενικά η χίλια πρόβατα και γίδια 500. Και τα σκυλιά 72 στους κάμπους εκατέβει και στο Ιορδάνη ποταμό πάει και τα σταλίζει. Και ο Κωνσταντίνος ήρχονται από του σεφεριού του. Κοιτάζει αυτά τα πρόβατα μανάμο βραχιολάτα. Κοιτάζει και τα σκυλιά ασήμο κερδανάτα. Καλημερά σου λιγερή. Καλώς τον Κωνσταντίνο. Τίνος είναι τα πρόβατα μαλάμο βραχιολάτα. Τίνος είναι τα σκυλιά ασήμο κερδανάτα. Του Κωνσταντίνου του μικρού Κωνσταντίνου. Όπου μικρός παντρεύτηκε, μικρός γυναίκα πήρε. Μικρός τον ήρθε μήνυμα να πάει στο σεφέρι. Η μάνα του παρήγγειλε την καρδιακιά του μάνα και στο σκαμνί με έκατσε και αντρίκια με ξυρίζει. Με έδωσε 10 πρόβατα να πάω να τα φυλάγω. Στο άλογο τι κάθισε, στο σπίτι την επάγει. Κάτω την άφησε και αυτός πάγει επάνω. Βρίσκει τη μάνα του, κρατούσε στην αγκαλιά τη ρόκα. Μάνα μου, πού είναι η γυναίκα μου, πού είναι η καλή μου? Γυναίκα σου απόθανε, γυναίκα σου ετάφτη. Πού είναι μάνα το μνήμα της να πάγω να τη κλάψω? Το μνήμα της χορτάριασε και γνωρισμό δεν έχει. Στη μέση την έσκησε, στο μήλο την επήγε.
I should have told you it's about a man who killed his mother, and you'll find out why.
Yeah, well, you're going to follow the English lesson.
Did I give it away?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry.
It has wonderful meter when it's
Yeah.
read in Greek, but it doesn't do that in English. I tried. It doesn't go da 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 da. And I can't force it. And since this is a song and not a poem, and since it's been translated into English and there's no music, it's really hard to read. So I'm going to just let you
Why
listen
you
to
don't
the story.
explain, kinda? Or you?
Explain the story?
Mhm.
Oh, they'll hear it though. It's in English.
Okay.
It's a very simple story, but I was surprised at the ending.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
very surprised because Greek men prize their mothers, and also it's a little different than we would. It's been one of our own tradition. So this is little Konstantinos. Konstantinos the little Konstantinos was little in his mother's arms, and little when she betrothed him, and little when a summons came to him to go to war. By night he saddled his horse, by day he shod it. He put on silver horseshoes and nails of gold, and his beloved called to him from the window, "You are going, Konstantinos, and to whom do you leave me? I leave you first to God and then to the saints. I leave you last of all to my sweet mother. Mother, good mother, mother sweet as sugar, as you looked after me as a child, look after my beloved. Look after my wife, my loved one." He leapt into the saddle and rode off like a swift bird. No sooner had he said goodbye than 40 miles went past. No sooner had they said farewell than another 43. The sound of hooves could still be heard. His voice was still in the air. When that impious bitch, the child of a Jewess, seized his wife by the hand and took her to the barber, made her sit upon a stool and cut her hair like a man's, dressed her in a shepherd's cloak and gave her a staff. She gave her 10 sheep, and those were mangy. She gave her 3 dogs, and those were rabid. She commanded her loudly and loudly mocked her. "You shall go up to the mountains and to the high peaks, where the streams are cold and the shadows cool. And if you don't make them 100, and if you don't make them 1,000, and the dogs 72, don't come down to the plain. Take them to the fords, and each one water them. But to the river Jordan do not go to water them, because there are snakes and vipers there. They'll come out and eat you. Come, Christ, come, Holy Mother, with your only begotten Son, even in the mountains where I'll be, may your blessing reach me." She set out and went to the mountains, weighed down with tears. Lamb gave birth to lamb, lambs in 5s and 10s. They became 1,000 sheep and 500 goats, and the dogs 72. She came down to the plains, and by the river Jordan went to rest them. And Konstantinos came by, returning from the war. He looked at those sheep with their collars of gold, and he looked at the dogs with their ribbons of silver. Good morning, pretty girl. You're welcome, Konstantinos. Who owns the sheep with their collars of gold, and who owns the dogs with their ribbons of silver? Konstantinos the little Konstantinos, who was little when he married, little when he took a wife, and little when a summons came for him to go to war. He left orders with his mother, his own heart's mother, but she made me sit upon a stool and cut my hair like a man's. She gave me 10 sheep to go and watch over. Then he took her, set her on his horse. They recognized one another there and then. He took her home. He put her on his horse and took her home. He left her below and himself went up to the house and found his mother with a distaff in her arms. Mother, where is my wife? And where is my beloved? Your wife is dead, your wife is buried. Where, mother, is her grave that I can go and weep? Her grave is overgrown and can't be recognized. He stabbed her through the middle and took her to the mill. The end.
Actually, it's some of the other things.
It's just like there and then.
No, sir.
Wow.
What he does is he takes her to the mill and grinds her up. And a lot of the Okay, well, thank you very much.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is very beautiful.
I think we'll take a break right now.
Okay.
And then we'll come back we'll be reading from several modern Greek poets, at least one or two of whom are living today. One of whom won the Nobel Prize about 2 years ago. So, please enjoy.
Ναι, let's put some music.
Thank you so I thought that was probably enough that said that. Yeah, I thought that was That was very good. Oh, it was wonderful. I wanted to tell you to stand up.
And I just looked so laid back. California for you. Yeah. When I came to school, I would sit down, go to school, sit down. And eat all stand up.
So now,
Okay, yeah.
for the kavafis, I wanted to ask you now.
Okay.
For these three poems that we are going to read from here, you want me to read them in Greek?
Yeah, let me get my glasses.
Nice, beautiful things. And they have people that like it, and they do this. And they want
I thought what we'd do is I could read, I'll read those three in English, and then we'll end with these three in Greek.
Oh, yeah.
Very end. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you are going to read in Greek from the others?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, we don't know. Okay, we'll do that one. We'll do this with Eugenia. Yeah, from this one, from Ritos, right. We'll read, we had 2 or 3. I think they're there.
Here?
Yeah.
Let me just put them in order.
Okay, so we have the right order.
It's this one. Okay, so first one is this.
Okay, yeah. And then the second one is
yeah. The third.
And the third one will be
These three, Epetios.
no, we have more?
Yeah, this is very strong.
Okay, what we can do is, I'll tell you what, instead of using this book at all, you just hand me, after you read, just hand me the paper and I'll read from this.
Okay.
See, I'll sit here and you can just hand it across.
Okay. I think, wait a minute. Because these are only two.
Oh, we were going to get the other page at 180.
Wait a minute. I think this one, no. Oh, these are from.
Oh, these are
Richard's.
from, these are from Sinopolis.
Okay. Sinopolis, what else? So by the book permit you were with Sinopolis because.
Yeah, well you have the...
Did you check any others from Sinopolis?
Those two and then the on poetry.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that whole one? That's the only thing I'm wondering about.
This is very nice. This is for the end of Sinopolis.
Okay.
Okay. Let me put one more. We can just sit close and.
Yeah, see, I'll sit right here.
All
Just
right,
hand
yeah.
across, yeah.
Let me put.
Yeah, this time. Let me clear this off. Okay.
This is to end this the summary,
Yeah.
and it's very nice. It's what was left on the journal.
Do you have it in there? No. Okay, good.
So we just sit here and we read it one by one. There
Yeah.
are about 4 or 5. They're not a lot.
No, they're not a lot.